Hello! Happy date night. Welcome to Pub Day. This is our official Date Night Cookbook launch party live stream. We are so excited for you guys to get your hands on this book. We have worked so hard on it. You can get a signed copy at premiercollectibles.com/date night. You guys already know that. We have a beautiful spread before us. Ariel, how are you feeling?
You came in hot.
Yeah,
you came in
got it.
super hot.
You got it coming up.
We are having our own little party here.
Yeah.
And I'm loving the energy coming from you.
Mhm.
We're very excited about Publishing Day. Clearly, Ned is very
It's been a long time coming. We're drinking a honey ginger mint iced tea. We have some cocktails, some mocktails in the book. A delicious cheese board which Ariel prepared. We're going to be answering some of your questions, talking about the book, and just getting excited.
Yeah.
So tell people, Ariel, what are some things that we did a little differently in this book when it comes to the layout?
Well, okay, so most cookbooks are laid out in terms of like what the recipe is for. So you've got your appetizers, you've got your mains, and you've got your desserts. And we threw that out the window and decided that we were going to structure this cookbook more as the stages of your relationship that you would use these recipes for. So it was a really fun book to write because we kind of interspersed a lot of our relationship stories, a lot of our funny stories, a lot of, advice. Would you call it advice?
A little bit of advice, yeah. I mean, it's over 10 years of recipes that we've collected, wrote them down in a little book by our kitchen, and and also stories from our relationship. So hopefully it inspires you to find love through cooking and share food with your loved ones.
Yeah.
I know that's certainly something we enjoy doing. We have a date night every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Although tonight we're gonna have one on Tuesday because it's the day to celebrate.
It's kind of a special day.
Yeah. Each of the chapters has different food corresponding to that relationship state. So you have your first dates. We have some icebreaker spicy jalapeno margaritas.
We've got the book there.
Yeah, let's check it out. Let's give people a sneak peek. There's also, after you've gone on several dates, you can have a little Netflix and chili on the couch.
That's right. Here we go.
And
we had a great team working on this book. Awesome photographer, awesome food stylist. Really, really great recipe writer. This would not have been possible without our publishing team. But yeah, let's get into this. Actually, we should be signing some of these books.
Let's sign some of these books.
Yeah, this is a live signing.
There you go.
We should be signing these.
Bam.
But anyway, like Ned was saying, the book has 5 different chapters, and they are the different stages of a relationship. So you've got attraction. And what kind of recipes have we got in attraction?
Put a little heart in this one, so maybe you'll get that one.
I think she can write some all of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They're a little more approachable. It's a little simpler in the attraction chapter, but they also look good. So basically, the least amount of effort to look really good.
I love that. So you're trying to impress a first date.
Love at first steak with balsamic reduction.
Good looking meal.
We told the story of the one time I ordered a gigantic 1-pound meatball. That's down there. That was on one of our very first dates.
I don't eat red meat, and I haven't since we met. So that was an oops on Ned's part.
Yeah.
We thought we were sharing it, and we did not.
If you guys have never made cassia a pepe bucatini, cassia a pepe.
It's basically matches.
It's a very elevated last minute meal. Don't sleep on it, y'all.
Yeah, you can make it in about 5 minutes. As long as it takes to cook pasta.
And then in the dating chapter, it's all about meeting your friends. That's where the cheese board comes in. Ariel, what are your top 3 cheese board tips
Ooh.
for
Ooh.
people watching at home that maybe want to up their cheese board game?
Sure. For those of you who are, partying with us today at noon on a Tuesday,
Woo! Let's go.
let's get that cheese board going. You got to start with your cheese, right? You got to start with a couple of soft cheeses and a couple of hard cheeses. You don't want to do only soft cheese or only hard cheese, because people like to have a little bit of different types of things on the plate here. So we've got some manchego, my personal favorite. We have goat cheese, brie, and this is Parmesan, which that's kind of a dark horse for us. We just love eating Parmesan off the brick.
It's great on pasta. It's also great just by itself. Ariel, do you have any favorite recipes in the book?
Ooh. Okay, so that question has come up a couple of times, and it's really hard for me to answer because this book is basically a compilation of all of my favorite recipes ever. Wouldn't it? I mean, don't you agree? I feel like that's a really difficult question to answer because this is all of my favorite recipes.
We actually had to cut a lot of recipes out. 100 recipes seems like a lot until you realize
that you cook every day.
There are certain, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. But the one that I've been making the most often is probably the kale salad.
We make that like multiple times a week.
That's a delicious salad. It's just easy. And that's with homemade croutons, which is just, if you're buying croutons, you gotta get on the homemade crouton train because you just take like fresh bread and you put it in the oven. And oh my goodness, the inside stays so delicious and moist, and the outside gets all crispy, and it's so good.
Although one time we forgot about the croutons, so we're just having such a fun time.
More than one time.
It's definitely easy to burn the croutons. So make sure you set a timer, about 10 minutes, unless the broiler's on, in which case like about 3 minutes. You can get carried away at a party.
Oh, for sure. As we do.
We like to party, but we like to party like with like Sunday afternoon in bed by 9 p.m. type of parties.
Oh yeah. Yeah, our parties start at 3 and 10.
Yeah, we like dinner parties, casual parties. We can have some grapes.
Yeah, I put a heart in this one too.
Very nice. Let's switch, bro.
Okay. Wait, you want to just switch ourselves?
Oh, sure. That's easy. I was starting that salmon because that is Ariel's favorite in the book.
Yes, it is.
But you have many favorites. There we go.
What else do you want to say about the book? Is there anything? Well, we haven't actually gone through all 5 stages of the relationship yet. The most exciting one for me is the 3rd stage of the relationship, which is disappointment.
That's the most exciting one for you?
Well, it's just different.
It's true.
It's just different from all of the other ones. The other ones are like, oh, love, oh, commitment, oh.
It's kind of a bold choice putting some of the not so nice things in a cookbook about love.
Every relationship has that down area.
That's right. So for that chapter, we tried to do a lot of things that didn't involve the oven.
Some egg dishes.
Yeah.
Some salads.
And then, of course, there's the kiss and make up meals. So
I'm trying to find a good one.
Daddy's favorite steak.
I don't think we called it that.
I think it's just Ned's favorite. And that was pre-Daddy's favorite on the Try Guys channel. This one.
This is the chocolate cake that you just write whatever you want on it in like the milk icing.
And if you haven't made up yet, you can just write, "You're an asshole." Can you imagine? You have to do like a beautiful cake just to insult someone.
That's solid. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't done that yet because that's such a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's like 100% sleeping on the couch.
It's like I made you a breakfast.
I made you something beautiful. I've been making this for the last 4 hours.
Anyways, after the disappointment chapter, of course, comes the commitment chapter.
And that's
Yeah.
whatever commitment means to you. You know, maybe it's getting a dog, maybe it's getting a fish, maybe it's having a kid.
So those are some more showstoppers, some more like meals with family, some holiday meals. And then finally is stability. You know, you've made a commitment to each other, and now you just living life and just living the dream.
Living the dream. Barbecues every Sunday.
Yeah, yellow mint there on your lips.
Thank you. All right. Okay, well, do you want to get into some of these questions?
Yeah, you guys submitted questions.
You guys submitted questions, and we are so excited to answer them. I'll just start at the top. We've got a question. What was it like balancing between Try Guys shoots, raising 2 kids, and making this cookbook? I think that is probably the best question out there because I don't even know. It was
really hard. Really hard.
It was a ride.
You know, Ariel did a lot of amazing work on this cookbook. It was a team effort, but Ariel really did the brunt of it.
Stop it.
She, you know, organized all the recipes, and we had you know, a bulletin board full with a bunch of different note cards, rearranging, because if I were on set on like a 12-hour shoot day, how are we going to get the book done? I mean, it takes a village, so there was a lot of help from family. Both of our parents came out at various points to help watch the children.
We have a great nanny who you know, took care of us, made sure that we had a little bit of time to actually write the book. And at the time, when we wrote this, we only had 1 kid. I was pregnant with Finn. Yeah.
Which I would say that was actually kind of a good time to be writing a cookbook.
Yeah, I agree.
Aside from maybe some of the food aversions that can happen.
Yeah. For some reason, for both of my pregnancies, I could not stand the smell of butter. And butter is amazing. Butter is in everything. And I just could not, I could not smell cooking butter. It was just too much for me. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Food aversions are funny. But I'm back on the butter train now.
Yeah, we're back on the butter train.
Don't worry about me.
All right, what's the next question?
Ariel, in your experience, do you believe that the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach? I can't speak for everyone, obviously. I can only speak for Ned. 100%. Yeah. Absolutely 100%. Oh my goodness. Ned would be happy with like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but cook this guy a hot meal. And it could just be, I remember in the early days when we were living in Chicago, we would eat like pasta with olive oil and like a half a tomato in there and salt. Yep. And that was like the best meal ever. We would eat it together on the couch.
You made us dinner. Wow.
We were both working like long days. I was doing night school. I mean, there were nights when I had like a bagel for dinner. You know, most nights I had a bagel for dinner. But like when we cooked those hot meals, and then when we actually like went all out and did like meat or something kind of exciting and fun. I remember there's a picture in here that we found of Ned like cutting a pork loin.
Oh yeah, that's probably one of the funniest stories in the book is hosting Ariel's father for the first time. This is, we decided to move in together, and her dad's like, "That's it, I'm coming out to meet this guy." I pick him up from the airport in a full suit because I just had a job interview. Kind of looking like a chauffeur, maybe dressed to impress, but also maybe like, why is this guy in a suit at O'Hare Airport?
My dad thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. And then the deal was, maybe we should make pork loin. My dad really likes pork loin. I was like, I don't know. I've never cooked pork loin in my life. And everyone's like, I'm not gonna cook the pork loin.
I'm not gonna.
I don't even eat pork. And I'm like, I want to put. We just never had it growing up. I don't know. So I was kind of freaking out, and I just like read all about pork loin.
Ned did a deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel like you do just in a lot of things.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And I made a bacon wrapped pork loin. In the book, we have kind of adapted that recipe over the years to be a Dijon pecan stuffed pork loin with a butterfly roll. You kind of hammer it out, put the delicious filling inside, and then kind of roll it up so it looks like a little,
Made it a lot more beautiful.
pork sushi, I guess. But it is very good. And your dad loved it.
Yeah,
which was great.
you did.
Because meeting the parents, gotta make a good first impression.
I mean, I think that's one of the big things. Like, I feel like meeting the parents, you really want to have like a showstopper meal.
Yeah.
And a couple of the ones that we put in the book, we put like whole fish.
Mm-hmm.
We put the pork loin, of course, and then we got some holiday meals like the spatchcock chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through the list and I'm just thinking about how all of these are my absolute favorite meals.
Oh yeah, I can see the chicken in my head. It's so good.
It's
While
so
you
good.
find the
It's
next
so
question,
good.
I'll look up the.
Oh no, I've already
Spatchcock.
there's a second part to
Okay,
this
here it
question.
is. Bam.
It's Ned.
Sage butter roast chicken.
What is one of your favorite meals to cook together with Ariel?
Oh, I think honestly making pizza together
Pizza.
is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I
And the kids
love
can get
pizza,
involved.
but
I mean,
that's a
they're
real like family activity.
fun. It's a good date activity.
A good
too.
date activity. You can have fun tossing the dough together. You can talk about what your favorite toppings are.
Yeah. And the third part to this question: are you the Try Guys hire?
Yes. Send us your resume at imdrunktryguys@gmail.com.
Oh my gosh, is that the only one where you can?
No. secondtrybusiness@gmail.com. But we actually did hire someone who had 2 glasses of wine and was like, you know what? I'm gonna send my resume to the Try Guys.
Quick tip: don't edit your resume while you're drunk, but you can definitely send it while you're drunk. Like as long as you copy edit it.
Yeah, no, it was a very strong resume. That's why we gave her a call. But it was the liquid courage
I love that.
they needed to take that.
Whatever it takes.
Take that step.
Whatever it takes. All right, let's see. What is your go-to meal when neither of you feel like cooking? That is what the entire 3rd chapter is about. Because when you are having an argument with your significant other, nobody wants to cook. Nobody wants to turn on the oven. Nobody wants to turn on the stove. You don't want to see me with a wooden spoon when I'm mad. And so a lot of the recipes in that 3rd chapter are like salads, and we incorporated some
the migas.
No, yeah, well, okay, so there's migas, which is like an egg dish. No, the fish that's cooked in acid. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, ceviche.
Ceviche, there it is. I couldn't remember the word.
There's ceviche in that chapter.
Yes. Yeah, just a lot of things that like you just don't have to cook.
Yeah. We also have a really fun croque monsieur savory French toast.
Oh.
And I feel like breakfast for dinner is definitely a good one to do if you're wanting to be easy about it.
Breakfast for dinner is so
very
fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's like, it's almost festive.
Yeah.
It's festive.
It turns it into a party in a kind of like, this is my going out shirt, t-shirt.
Yes.
Way.
Which I don't know, that's what I said, breakfast is that. Yeah, it's like festive in a lazy way. Yeah. Lazy is in a good way.
Yeah.
So excited to use this cookbook and adore both of you. And I was wondering if you would ever come back to Australia when travel is open.
Oh yeah.
I think I speak for both of us when I say absolutely. Absolutely. And now.
That was our last big trip.
Yeah, it was.
Australia and Singapore.
for Ned's tour.
Lots of flat whites in Melbourne.
Actually, there's some tour posters on this wall. Yeah, there it is, right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a for Ned's Legends of the Internet tour. But the whole family went and it was really fun.
I miss being on tour, I miss meeting people, but we're doing a mini book tour in New York and Los Angeles. We're gonna have a live signing at the Strand Bookstore October 8th. And then we'll also have a live signing at the Grove in Los Angeles, October 15th.
Very exciting.
So if you want to meet us, you can.
Let's see.
And I announced a contest on social media, perhaps a bit preemptively because I'm still figuring out the details, but we think it'd be very cool to have one lucky winner have lunch with us at Jones on 3rd.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah. So anyone that
I love that idea. You're just a fly by the seat of your pants type of person. Ned's literally doing an Instagram story to promote something, and he just decides.
Coming up with ideas. Yeah. So if you have a signed copy of the book, you'll be automatically entered to win this new contest that we just came up with. But we met Joan from Jones on 3rd by doing the Food Network show. She's big fan.
Right.
Is very excited about the book and wants to host a fun event for us.
I love that. Jones on 3rd has always been one of those cool LA places.
Very cool LA,
yeah. I love that. Okay. What will always end a fight quickly? Honestly, if you just want to end the fight, just say I'm sorry.
It's true. Yeah, that's true.
Just say I'm sorry. Even if
say you're right.
Even if you know that you were right. Which
you always are, but that's not the point, really. Right? The point is to listen to the other person and see how maybe in some ways they are also right.
That actually okay. No, you're laughing. Like that actually is
absolutely true.
Like that is actually the way to do it. Is like yes, you might be right, but what you need to do in that situation is you need to listen to the other person and just try to understand the ways in which they think that they
their perspective.
And it doesn't actually matter that you convince them that you're right.
No, if anything, that'll do the opposite. You maybe need to convince them or say to them how you feel, because understanding each other's feelings are important. But yeah, for sure. You can't really win a fight. The only way to win a fight is by giving up. And because then it's just over. And that's a win for everyone.
That's true. Yeah, saying I'm sorry does a lot. What is your favorite memory from writing this book together? I think for me, it was probably the photo shoots. Those days were so fun. They were so fun. I was heavily pregnant with Finn, and we were doing the photo shoot in our house, and we had to keep it really small. And so we had a food stylist and an assistant, and then we had a photographer. And Ned's job was as our beautiful hand model. And trying all the food, and it was just festive,
Well, because a lot of recipes exist like in writing form, where you do a quick test of it. Not exactly very pretty. And this, for the first time, it's starting to look like a real cookbook.
Yeah.
Things are starting to look beautiful and styled and gorgeous. And you're like, oh my God, this was the vision. Like the vision starts to come to life. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Even after that point, it's certainly.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, you're like adjusting the exact angle of a spoon or using tweezers to place individual strands of pasta.
Yeah, tiny pieces of basil and like
our
just
food
all the little
stylist
things.
Danielle was amazing. She had so many little tricks. I mean, like taking a blowtorch to things to get the perfect sort of browning.
Anytime that you're looking at the book, And we were like, wait a second. But what I made does not look like that. That's because there's somebody behind that cookbook who is making the most beautiful. They are trained to make the most beautiful food in the entire world. Yeah. And they just get that perfect sear because they sear each line is like very carefully done.
It's very cool to see.
It is cool to see. It's really, really interesting. I would love to be a fly on the wall in like the kitchen of a food stylist. Like the food they make for themselves.
Yeah, does it still look beautiful?
Does it still look beautiful?
Or are they off the clock?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you guys right now, our food does not always look this beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But it tastes, it still tastes pretty
It
good.
still tastes amazing.
Yeah. So, hey, tag us in some of the photos that you take of your food from the cookbook.
Oh, that would be so fun.
We'll feature you on our stories.
Yeah, that would be great. That'd be great if you make our recipes. Yeah, just tag us. Yeah, that'd be really fun. Let's see. Oh, how do you manage to be so happy?
Aw, that's a nice question.
I'm gonna tear up. That's really sweet. How do you manage to be so happy? I think that we're both. I really am tearing up. I think that we are both optimists.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one thing that I've noticed about us.
Try and stay grateful for things.
Yeah, we do like anything good that happens to us. Ned and I check in with each other a lot and just kind of say, like, we're really lucky to have this. We're really lucky to have this. We have a wonderful family. Our kids are a joy most of the time.
That joke for a
what's
second.
that TikTok? I love my kids when they're sleeping.
After they're asleep.
No, I mean they're just wonderful. Yeah, I think being an optimist, and we've been very, very lucky, very, very lucky.
Yeah.
In our lives.
I'm being thankful for that.
I'm just remembering to be thankful for the things that we have. That's such a nice question.
Yeah.
Thank you for who asked that? Natalie from Sweden. Thank you for asking
Wow. Bonjour.
That's French. Love. All right. Wishing your family well, and thanks for doing this signing. For all those living far and can't make it. Oh, this was not even a question. It's just love you.
Hey,
so happy for your success.
Lauren from Leeds in the UK.
Thank you
so
for
much.
that. All right, Amanda from Canada. Oh, what's your favorite memory? That's the same one. Let's see. Oh, here's somebody from California. Tiffany, was there a recipe in the book that the two of you did not see eye to eye on originally?
Oh, so I have a good story for this. I was trying to come up with like good puns and funny names. It was kind of a little too late in the process to be doing that.
Because we'd already written most of the recipes.
Right, we'd already written most of the recipes. They were all nicely arranged. Came up with one. I was like, Ariel, we have to put something in the book called Netflix and chili. We can just do our turkey chili recipe. And Ariel was like, no, I've already organized this chapter. It's so perfect. There's not room for another main. Also, turkey chili is so basic. Like, no way.
I tried to make sure that each of the chapters was like balanced, that it had mains, desserts, appetizers, drinks.
There's a whole
And
problem.
Ned's trying to like,
Slide
these recipes in. It's like, let's do this, and let's do this. And I'm like, do you not realize how long I've been working on this? You can't just decide to start adding recipes.
Yeah.
But that one made it in because it was just too good of a pun. It really, really was.
I believe it went on the back of the book. Yes.
Well, in any case, excellent job.
Thank you, and thank you for
Listening.
for listening and adjusting your perfect vision.
Nothing is perfect. Let's see. Oh. Do you have a recipe that you really liked that we didn't include? Were there any that you were really sad that we didn't have in there? Actually, I can think of one.
I have a sort of one because we still ended up including the whole roast fish, right?
Yes, we
We
did.
had to cut the photo. Like, so we have this recipe for a whole roast fish. It's beautiful. It's super easy. You can do it with snapper and put a bunch of garlic and herbs underneath the cuts and the sides. Really good. But the
Pretty
photo
easy.
came out and it was like very like
It was
a
very
bit
whole
too
fish.
like,
looking.
oh my god, this is a fish head.
It had the eye and everything.
And I was like a little sad because it was a cool photo, but the editor thought that people would be grossed out by it, and they're probably
They're
right.
probably right.
But hey, if you like fish, try it out.
Yeah, it's a cool recipe and it was a cool photo. For me, I think so. I remember I was sitting in Keanu's test kitchen. Keanu's one of our friends who worked at BuzzFeed with us, and she was our recipe writer for this. And we were sitting in her test kitchen, trying to just brainstorm like,
no, a wafer in my drink.
trying to brainstorm like fun recipes. You know, I had the ideas from kind of our recipes that we had come up with just over 10 years of being together. But then we wanted to have these like, okay, well, what's like something that we've always wanted to make, that maybe we could do something like that. And one of them was this like gelatin cake thing that would have looked like a confetti cake when you cut into it. But it just wasn't us, you know. But I still think about what that would have looked like and how cool that would have been.
Yeah.
But that's not really something that we don't make all those.
Totally,
so we were like, that's kind of left field for us. But
yeah, it was a cool balance between taking some things that were staples of ours, elevating them to cookbook level, and then taking some things that were, we always like dream of
making something like
this, and maybe it made once or something like that.
Yeah, making a cookbook is an interesting process, really fun. Yeah, I kind of want to do it again. All right. What was the idea to have a pavlova in the cookbook, since this is such an Aussie icon dessert? That's a really good question. Hold on just a second. What was the idea to have a pavlova?
Your laptop's about to die.
Yeah, my question laptop is dying.
Honestly, it's like one of our favorite desserts to eat, and we were looking for something really bright and fun and kind of summery. And I didn't actually know the history of it until we started researching it a little bit
This
more.
was something that we made, and I had no idea where it was from. And then, we decided to make the YouTube video about it because it was just one of those like very visual looking desserts. And that's kind of when we learned what the history was.
There's a lot of research because I was like, oh no, the expert
I'm gonna need to talk
I
about
have
this.
to get my facts right. I need to
It's
make
like
sure that I'm not.
we've made it quite a few times, but never really knew where it was from. We just knew that it was this like delicious, light dessert.
It came originally from we got a
Oh yeah,
mixer.
tell us, Ned.
So I got a Black Friday deal for a stand mixer. I was very excited. This was about 5 years ago, and I said, "Oh, this will take us to the next level. We'll have like a real kitchen. We'll be making cakes and stuff all the time." And I ordered it. It was like something filthy, like 80% off. Like I was like, "It's too good not to buy it." Like $120, $600 value, something crazy. And it comes in, and it's enormous. It is
got the like professional
industrial size. It's like not even gonna fit on our kitchen counter. Candy apple red. We're like, what do we do with this giant thing? Ariel says, put it in the garage. We cannot have it in our house. It was very sad. I think we ended up giving it to your parents.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Because they have a bigger house.
Everything's bigger in Texas, including the countertops.
Our house is too small.
But yeah, we eventually got it the right size. But that's where we started making more meringues and all sorts of fun stand mixture things. Also like some handmade pastas.
So true. I mean, we were
I
making
don't think
handmade
this
pasta.
book
before
has
that.
a handmade pasta recipe, but
Yeah,
pretty fun.
next one.
Yeah, next book.
That'll be for the next one. Oh, I love this question. When did you know you found the one?
Oh.
When did you know that you found the one?
Oh,
I mean, you might have to read the book to find out because there are some stories in it.
Yeah. I mean, there were many ways in which it was love at first sight, where I just saw you and just was immediately like, felt like we clicked and felt this electricity between us that was so exciting.
I joked, so the night that Ned and I met, I was wearing these really dangly earrings, and I joked that he was like a bird attracted to
Like a
like the shiny, like shiny.
I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know when I realized you were the one. I mean, I remember like
Still don't know. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I remember early on, like just like lying in bed with you on a like Saturday morning or something, and just being like, I think this is my person.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think, you know, you can have a really good chemistry with somebody, but you know, we argue really well.
Mm-hmm.
We don't argue a lot, but when we do, we're very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's definitely important.
I think that has a lot to do with, you know, just creating a life with somebody. Is you want to create a life with somebody that you can. When
you inevitably disagree, you're going to be able to.
You can get through those.
Know that you're going to work through
those moments. Yeah. I mean, there's all the lovey-dovey stuff about, you know, we knew that we wanted to be together pretty immediately, and well, you know, got engaged like 9 months after we met.
I think you're right, though. I definitely remember we took a really big month-long trip to South Africa where we rented a car and drove all over. And it wasn't so much the wonderful times from that trip that made me realize that I wanted to spend my life with you. But
there were some rough times on that trip.
How we overcame the difficult times.
Yeah, I mean we had very little money.
Poisoning. We got to a car accident.
Yeah. I mean, we were sleeping in like we were sleeping in a twin size bed at like a friend's house.
Yep.
In one place, and then we were like basically camping in another place.
Yeah, such to wear on you.
Driving on the other side of the road. Oh my goodness, that was crazy.
Yeah,
I was a little used to it, but I never actually driven on that side of the road. Yeah, good question.
Yeah,
I like that. Let's see. What was your favorite story to write in the book?
Well, I already talked about that funny one with your dad. You know, there's definitely there's a story and a recipe that's near and dear to my heart. My grandfather, who we called Nanu, made like a lamb ragu every Sunday, and I really kind of delved into all these sense memories of being a little kid and getting all excited that Nanu was making pasta sauce. And just a lot of these things kind of came flooding back that I hadn't really thought about in a while, like going outside with him to pick tomato plants together, or you know, hearing him talk about tomato paste and what to do with how to use it. And
he washed out the can and then put the
that was like his secret, was he dumps the tomato paste in and kind of washes the can, puts a little water, and washes the can, puts a little water in.
Every last little bit.
Yeah, every last little bit. Also give it some moisture. And just, I don't know, all these early mornings. He passed away when I was a teenager, so I was relatively young. But just early mornings getting bagels. A lot of like really nice memories that I just hadn't really thought of before. Yeah,
so writing the stories kind of brought that for you.
And for a lot of the stories, I think it also
Oh, yeah.
some of the stories from our early dating and courtship and.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's
Absolutely.
very cool. How about you?
You know,
I mean, I worked more on the stories and you worked more on the recipes.
on the recipes,
in a way,
yeah.
So.
Yeah. I did some of the like advice,
Right.
and that was really fun. You know, doing some of the dating advice, like, you know, fun questions to ask on a first date. I kind of went into like early, you know, like young Ariel. Like what would I ask somebody on a first date? You know, I sort of pulled that up, and
Cool.
it was fun to, yeah, it was fun to kind of think about like, oh, what was I like when I was, you know, 22 or so long ago. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know.
And we've been together so long, it's like going back into your mind as a single person.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it was a swirling turmoil inside.
Totally. Yeah. I mean,
So much confusion.
yeah. I mean, I'm going there right now. It's
Whoa.
very confusing.
Whoa, whoa,
Very
whoa.
confusing. Come back.
Come back.
Come back.
Come back. Keep forward.
But no, I keep going back to the disappointment chapter. But that is actually one of my favorite chapters in the book because it's so different. And it's so, I find that sort of stuff so interesting.
You kind of the saccharine glossiness gets peeled away and becomes a little more raw and real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, there's like tips on how to fight well in that chapter. You know, and I doing research for that I found very, very interesting. Yeah, just I don't know. I took a lot of the research that I did from that chapter and a lot of the like stories that we wrote in that chapter, and I brought it back into our, you know, into our lives. I don't know. You know, when you research something like that, it doesn't leave you.
No.
Yeah. Oh well, let's see. What made you guys decide to write this book?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Ned, cookbook author over here, first time eater.
Long time writer, first time eater.
What made us want to write this book?
Honestly, it's been a dream for years and years. I think when we were first starting dating, we talked about dreaming of writing a cookbook together. I mean, this was like before we were even famous or social media influencers or whatever. But yeah, it's we collect cookbooks. We love beautiful photography, and we collect our own recipes. So it's kind of like a dream project for us.
Yeah, I mean, we've said this multiple times, but food really is like a love language for us.
Yeah.
You know, we communicate through food. Food is something that we like to do together. It's something that we like to do for each other. I mean, we love eating.
We love eating.
We love eating.
Hey, we love eating, man.
Love eating, man.
Well, we are so excited for you to eat with us and to have a piece of our story in your home, in your kitchen.
Yeah, we really enjoyed this conversation. I feel like I'm having a conversation because you guys have asked these questions. And so, yeah, this has been really, really fun for us.
Yes.
And we hope that you enjoyed the cookbook so much. We enjoyed so much writing it, testing it, photographing it. It really is just it was a labor of love for us, and we hope that you enjoy it.
And we're
so very
thrilled
much.
that you are going to get some signed copies.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe one of you will be having lunch with us.
Thanks again for joining us.
Bye.
Hey, this is John Acuff, New York Times best-selling author of 7 books and someone who's done a live signing. If you like the one you just watched, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. It's full of amazing authors having great conversations and signing books for viewers just like you. So make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching today.